very likely. But okay, why is OLED such a big deal on the iPad? I mean, Samsung has had OLED tablets for literally the past 12 years. Well, it's a pretty big deal because of two reasons. First, unlike the 12.9-inch model of the iPad Pro, which now features a mini LED display, the 11-inch from 2022 still features the same LCD display as the 11-inch from 2018. This would finally get updated to an OLED panel, which would be a gigantic upgrade for anyone like me who prefers the 11-inch model. And second, this won't just be any OLED display, but a fairly custom approach, where two super thin OLED panels will be stacked on top of each other in order to achieve a higher brightness level, something that's been an issue on all the other OLED tablets. So these new OLED iPad Pros could match that insane 1600 nit peak brightness of the mini LED 12.9-inch iPad Pro, and even exceed it, all whilst having deeper blacks and richer colors. It could also be the case that Apple, given that this new display will be OLED, we could also see some thinner bezels, which I do think are needed just to give the iPad a fresh look from the front. But more importantly, we could also see the dynamic island. We've rendered a concept of both versions, one with the current bezels just thinner, and the other with the dynamic island, and I think we can all agree that the dynamic island one looks 10 times better. Of course, the only downside is that with an iPhone, you mostly tend to use it in portrait orientation, meaning that the dynamic island will almost always be at the top, whereas with an iPad, that's a device that you tend to switch from portrait to landscape quite often. So if anything, the dynamic island should be software-based, with the Face ID camera still being built into the bezel. But yeah, I think having a dynamic island would be pretty cool and would bring more parity between the iPad and the iPhone. I think it's also safe to assume that with such a big change, we could all